Hello, everyone, and welcome to your self-publishing workshop. These are things to know when publishing on Amazon. Brainstorming. First of all, I would like for you to take a few seconds to just think about and visualize how you would want your book to look like. Ask yourself, what will your title be? What colors would you like it to have? What is your story about? And what size do you want your book to be? These are some things to think about when brainstorming before you start writing it down on paper. Take some time on looking at other books and just getting ideas of what you might want to include into your own book. Manuscript. A manuscript is your story written by you but not yet in a final format. It is the author's copy of a book that will be worked on and edited several times. This is the way I like to write my manuscripts, to give the illustrator a better and simple idea of how I want my illustrations to match each page. My manuscript sketch. Now I'm going to share with you a sample of how I put together my manuscript. I start with the top as the title. This title of my manuscript sketch is called My Story is Mine. Then I begin to number each page. So each number will represent each page on my story. For example, number 1. As far as I can remember, when I was only about 6 years old, my family was very united and oriented. That would be the sample text of my book for page 1. And if I were to be writing a children's book, then this would give the illustrator a good idea as far as what to work with for page 1. And if you're thinking of publishing a chapter book, then use this as your guide as well. Number 1 would represent page 1, and you would continue writing from there. Number 2 would be your page number 2, and so forth. Sketch illustrations. Here are some samples of how I like to sketch out each page. I use my imagination to put my story together. Then I send it to the illustrator with my manuscript. Then they will add on the text onto each page and create the illustrations. Always add a page number to each page, as required by Amazon. When you submit your manuscript to the illustrator, a lot of times the illustrator can create the illustrations for you according to their own imagination, but I like to use my own sketches, my own ideas, and my own way of how I want my book to look like. But that's totally up to you on how you want to work with it. These are some of my samples of some pages in my book. And these are the results. These are the results according to my own sketches and how I wanted my pages to look like. Again, always make sure to number each page. Front first page. The front first page usually has the title of the book, the author's name, illustrator's name, publisher's name, year publishing. If you have a website or a YouTube channel, you can add it here. These pages can be very simple, or you can use the front cover image here as well. However you like. The first image is how I chose my Daddy in Prison book to look like. The second one, I made it a little bit more creative. So I added more color and changed the main character for a bit. Another sample. Here is another sample of what I did. I added the publisher's name. This can be a name you choose to be known as if you plan to continue to publish books. Or you can use the name of the publishing company that is helping you publish your book. I added my own YouTube channel and my Author Central information. Copyrights page. You must add a copyrights page to your book in order to protect it from pirates, from copying it, or stealing it. You don't necessarily need to pay anyone or buy a copyrights page. You can do it yourself. And here is a sample of mine. Always add a copyrights page. Here I went ahead and also added my logo. This page will fully protect your book legally. Logo. A logo is what identifies you as an author to your books. For example, when you start attending authors events and book events, you can add your logo on all your flyers, your tablecloth, etc. Have fun creating your logo. It will follow you in everything you do as an author. And this is my logo. Dedication page. In this page, you can choose to dedicate your book to someone special or a group of people, maybe even an organization. You can add anyone you would like to dedicate your book to. This is my sample. In this case, I dedicated my book to the children who need to be understood all over the world. Then towards the bottom, I added a special dedication to some of my close friends and family. Resource page. It is your choice, depending on the type of book you are publishing, to add a resource page. You can add anything that you like on your book. Have fun and be creative. In this book, I decided to write a community resource support groups for families of prisoners. How do I hire an illustrator? An illustrator is usually a graphics designer as well. They can help you design your logo and design your illustrations as you want it. I like to hire professionals that already have years of experience helping other authors, for the reason that they already know about the formats needed to publish on Amazon and other publishing formats. Every platform has its own requirements. If you already have an illustrator in mind or found someone on Google, make sure to check out their profiles before hiring them or making a commitment. Also, make sure to put a contract on paper. That way, both ends are covered and secured legal-wise. These are some of the websites that I used to publish my own books. There's Upwork, Freelancer, Elance, and Fiverr. These are top 10 freelancer websites. Finding an editor. Once you are ready with your manuscript, dedication page, and all the writing, I recommend you read it over at least 2 to 3 times. Then, hire a professional editor to help you check the spelling, grammar, etc. You can hire an editor on Upwork, Freelancer, and Fiverr. Again, if you have your own editor, that works too. After you get it back from your editor, please go over it again a few more times. The editing process can take a while depending on your own pace, so please be patient with it. Editing. Take your time with the editing process in order to avoid mistakes, delays, and having to pay again, and republishing again. This is an example of one of my books that was edited, re-edited, and once I published it, I still had some errors. Oh no! Authors page. Have fun taking professional pictures. Hire a photographer and set up a headshot photo shoot. Work on a biography. A biography is basic information that tells your audience more about you and who you are. Your name, about you, if you have any degrees, where you went to school, and what you like to do. If you need help with this, you can also hire someone to help you put together your biography. Again, always make sure to edit this part as well. Back cover description. A book must always have a back cover description. This will give the reader information of the book and the story. Most people read the back cover description before buying it or borrowing it from the library. Make sure it's catchy and that it draws attention. Also, you can end it with a question to create curiosity of the book to your audience. Front and back cover file. This is a front and back cover file. This file is required in all publishing platforms. You cannot publish on Amazon if your file is not created in this way. It is a file that has the front and back cover connected at the size of your book. Make sure to remind your designer, formatter, and illustrator that all sides should be at least 1 inch away from the edges. This is to avoid cutoffs during the publishing process. Put your file together to create the book. Your file needs to be put together the way you want it to look. All pages must be numbered as required by Amazon. You can use Docs, Word, or whatever works for you. Remember that you can add blank pages wherever you want to have them in your book. A total of at least 24 pages must be on the file according to Amazon's requirements. Now I'm going to show you how my file looks like after everything is put together. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you my actual file. This is my book, The Magic Closet, and this is the way I chose my book to look like. As you can see, I added the title, the author's name, and the illustrator's name. So just imagine that this is your final draft and you're ready to load it onto your KDP account. I have a blank page here, and then I have the side page. So this is exactly how my book is going to look like. I chose not to have anything on this page, but I chose to have it here. Again, I chose to have a blank page here, but I chose to have the copyrights page on this side. You have the choice to put your copyrights page here, up to you, but this is the way I chose for it to look like. And then my story starts. So once you have this published, just know that this is exactly the way your book is going to look like. So right here, page number 1, make sure to number all of your pages. Why? Because Amazon requires that for publishing. Page number 2, and so on. Sorry, it's taking a little while to load. And I chose to have the end on this side. Write and draw your own adventure here, and then I left a blank page for them to have 2 pages to work on. And then I chose to leave this one blank because I wanted my author's page to be on the right side. So remember, you get to choose, you decide how you want your book to look like. It's your book. You are the author of the story. And this is my my author's page. So yeah, that's my complete file, you guys. ISBN. Your ISBN is free through Amazon Publishing only. If you plan to publish on other platforms like Barnes & Nobles, Walmart, Target, etc., then you will need to pay for your ISBNs on Boker. Any new edition will need a new ISBN. Barcode. When creating your back cover, be aware that the barcode is always printed on the right side of the back of your book. Amazon will also give you that for free. Create a KDP account. A KDP account is your author's account on Amazon. This is where all your books will be loaded and you get to monitor all your sales. This is where you get to order all your author's copies for future events and direct book sales. Authors Central. Create your Authors Central account. This is where you will add your biography and other images to attract your fans to follow you on Amazon. On every book published, they will get an alert and create more sales for you. Upload your files. Here you will be guided to upload your front and back cover file along with your full formatted manuscript with illustrations. Front and back cover file upload. This is a sample of what it's going to look like when you're ready to upload your file. Upload manuscript. This is a sample of how it's going to look when you're ready to upload your manuscript file. How long does it take for approval? Titles are typically reviewed and published within 24 to 72 hours. Sometimes you will run into setbacks that need to be corrected in order for it to fully be approved. Make sure to keep communication with your formatter during this process. And finally, congratulations! You are a self-published author. How to plan. How to plan a successful book launch in easy steps. Launch your book with a price promotion. Have reader reviews ready to go. Announce your book launch. Schedule features on book promotion sites. Use ads to promote your book launch. Advertise all over your social media. Book signing events. Schedule book signing events and invite all your family and friends. Don't forget to include all of your social media followers. Keep advertising every way that you can. These are my programs if you need one-on-one support. Only $1,900 to become fully published. Become a self-published author on Amazon. 3 to 6 months depending on your pace. Meet on Zoom based on appointment, one-on-one support. Create an author's account on KDP together. Create a front and back cover file. About illustrations. How to hire an illustrator. Editing your manuscript for grammar and spelling. Creating a file. Formatting the book to Amazon's requirements. Show you how to order your author's copies. Explore the process of self-book publishing. Publish fully. Create a grand opening author's event. Your bonus. Get you interviewed on social media blog. That would be a lifetime promotion. Another option I have available is working with you on an hourly base. Only $45 an hour if you have your illustrations and file ready, but you still need help completing your publishing process complete. I can help you and guide you to fully publish at an hourly rate. We will schedule Zoom meetings together. Please be on time. Late cancellation fees will apply. Any questions? There is no pressure during this process. This is necessary in order for both of us to know that we are in understanding of the commitment together. Sign a contract. If you choose any of these two programs because you need the support, we will get together and sign a contract. We will read it together and make sure that you completely understand the contract before you sign it. Testimonials. These are some of my recent self-published authors that were guided through the publishing process with me: Elizabeth Yang and Alexander Kazachki. Ways to contact me. You can always contact me directly on my website at strongfamilybond.com. My email address at ericaruiz39@yahoo.com, or directly text me on WhatsApp at 323-237-5636. And again, I thank you for joining me here today, and I suggest you trust the process of publishing.